Good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? Here I'm from Florida, and I hope I could have brought you some sunshine, but it didn't work out that way. I might be snowed in this weekend. Anyway, the reason I'm here is to tell you about a really exciting company called Alertgy, whose mission in life is to make the lives of diabetes much easier than it is today. We've developed a technology that will allow people to monitor their blood sugar without having to prick themselves, which 90% of diabetics have to do today. You're talking about over 200 million Americans that have to do that. 420 million people all around the world. It's a big deal. And it's something that is easy to solve. But no one has been successful so far. I've spent my life doing things that are impossible for the government. I did research for DARPA. I was the director of engineering for Stanford Research Institute's Marine and Space Technology Group. And we invented things that were impossible to solve problems that had to be solved. We developed ways of communicating underwater using RF technologies, and we developed high dielectric materials to solve critical problems. The irony of the whole thing is that all this time of 20 years of doing this, I never did it for myself. I never did it for something other than for the government. But when my wife almost died from diabetes, and I watched my father die with one amputation at a time over many, many years, when my wife almost died, I just got her right before she was going to go into a coma. I decided that, why can't I just use what I've been using all along, working for the government? Why don't I use that approach? So I sat down and I did the research. I talked to people all around the world. And after about 3 months, I found a way to do it. And the irony is the people I've worked with over the last 20 years are part of the team. So basically, what we're going to be doing is addressing a critical need in an existing market with a disruptive technology. And we have a prototype in the lab that we've demonstrated that it works, and there's all kinds of literature from all kinds of research institutes that document it, that you could use dielectric spectroscopy as a method to quantify the blood sugar level in a human being real time. It's just not practical to do it using normal technologies. So we're going to be raising about $2.5 million over the next 2 rounds. We're starting off with an initial round of $250,000 to start, $500K to stop the first round, which will be an angel round. This just shows you the market that exists right now. The other side of the market that we're going to look at is the long-term market of people that don't even know they have diabetics, which is a third of this country is borderline diabetic and they don't know it. How can we modify their behavior to avoid them from becoming diabetic? So at this point in time, I think I've kind of talked about some of the basics of what we're doing. Does anybody have any questions?
So do you have a device?
Yes, I have a lab device, and I have a prototype device I can show you that demonstrates how it's going to work in a wristband.
Do you have clinical data?
We have preclinical data from the lab-based system, but the problem is you can't take something that is in a room and make it a portable system. So the money that we're going to be using in our first round will be to build the wristband device, and I have a prototype device to show you after the meeting.
On your website, you also show another device that's coupled to the smartphone where you do use the fingerprint.
No, that's showing you what the fingerprint is. That's showing the fingerprint. We have to modify that page because it's confusing. Yeah, so what we're trying to do is do away that. Our big advertising thing online, my son's a marketeer and just graduated in that area, and everything's a hashtag to him. So our hashtag is #StopThePrick. I think it's registered. I don't have to check on that. Any other questions? Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.